The most easterly section of the Spanish Pyrenees, the Albera range, is home to the very last population of the Hermann's tortoise. Near this range lies the Albera Tortoise Breeding Centre, where they aim to increase the population of the species by breeding the Hermann's tortoise, as well as studying their biology and educating the public about this animal. All the money made from entry fees or from purchases from the gift shop goes towards the maintenance of the centre and probably tortoise letters as well. By breeding these animals at the centre, it has allowed people to study the mating habits of the Hermann's tortoise. Most mating will occur in the spring, before the egg laying begins. Male tortoises will attempt to convince the female to mate with them by bashing their shells against the females. And they'll also bite her hind legs. Near the beginning of the summer, the female tortoises will dig holes in the ground and lay their eggs in them, which will be incubated by the hot summer temperatures. In September, the eggs will hatch, and the wild young tortoises will have to survive on their own, their mother having abandoned the nest. However, here in the breeding centre, the young are placed in these pens and looked after until they are old enough to be released into the wild. The enclosures you see are constructed over the locations where the tortoises lay their eggs, in order to protect them from predatory birds such as magpies, which will dig up with their claws and eat the unhatched young. The bottom of the enclosures are open to allow the tortoises to pass through, but magpies are unable to access the inside. These baby tortoises were born in September 2015, and each year around 300 to 500 tortoises are born at this centre. They will add to the number of Hermann's tortoises out in the wild, and therefore increase the population of the species. In the summertime, Hermann's tortoises will take shelter from the sun during the hottest midday hours, and most activity will only occur early or later in the day once it has cooled down enough for them. During the winter, the tortoises hibernate and re-emerge when the spring arrives. The Hermann's tortoise is omnivorous, mainly eating plants, however they will also feed on small invertebrates, such as snails. In the wild, the animal eats around 43 different plant species, including grasses and legumes. So in order to try and recreate this varied diet, the tortoises at the centre are fed food pellets that contain all the nutrients they would normally be getting in their natural habitat. This is what the habitat of the tortoises looks like. In the Albera range, they live anywhere between sea level and 500 metres above it. The trees in this area are called cork oak, and as you can see, they are harvested for this cork. However, this environment and therefore the tortoises themselves are under threat. Hermann's tortoises used to live in many areas of Catalonia, but today only live in a few places. This is due to the multiple forest fires that destroyed their habitat and killed many of the tortoises, as well as the selling and trading of the Hermann's tortoise, back before it became a protected species. Heavy machinery is also now being used to clear up forest undergrowth, which not only causes a loss of habitat, but also tortoises to be crushed under the machines. The Albera Tortoise Breeding Centre is therefore vital to the continued survival of this species. They not only protect the animal, but also allow it to be studied in more depth, helping to find more ways in which they can be saved from extinction.